Please welcome our fifth finalist from Long Beach, California. The company is Kangarootime. Welcome Scott Wayman to the stage. Good luck, man.
Hey guys, this is the wrong deck.
Ad lib, yeah.
All right, guys, we will ad lib at Kangarootime. There you go. At Kangarootime, we are revolutionizing the early education and childcare business. This is a business that has ignored technology. The revenue cycle in this business is very complex. The employees in this business that are the most seasoned, they get relegated to admin duties. And there's a reason for this. Any hiccup can lead to a center being shut down or a child safety issue. And the teachers, they have high stakes jobs and they're being required to document more and more. One regulatory issue in one of these schools can end up shutting a school down or leading to a child safety issue. So that brings about an excellent opportunity to really disrupt this business, and I'm going to show you how we're doing this. We're building the first all-in-one platform for childcare. We use artificial intelligence to completely automate the revenue cycle and carve all the labor out of this. Not only do we do this, we let these centers know exactly where they are with every dollar. And we automate the staff onboarding paradigm, so HR, we completely automate. And we do this with a digital document manager that eliminates every piece of paper in onboarding students and parents and teachers. And the high stakes documentation, we make sure it's done correctly. And we give these centers real-time location systems so they know where every student is in every moment. And this really helps with the safety paradigm. We make teachers 10 times faster than they would be on paper. And our language processing engine allows teachers to do less and families to get more. Our elegant app ecosystem uses facial recognition and geolocation to assure that the child safely checked into school, and it reduces all the friction. Parents get peace of mind because they can check in on the child and curate the other care continuum in the family. And the millennials love this purchasing experience. They have the ability to pay through our app. We actually monetize and take care of the revenue cycle and do a revenue share so that the centers can focus on the relationships. Our revenue model, we share 1% of every dollar that we collect. And it's about $780 per month. And we're telling a data and analytics story in this business that's never been told. And doing it in Buffalo gives us a huge competitive advantage. Next year in Buffalo, we plan on hiring 35 new employees. Thank you.
Scott, thank you. That was the 5-minute deck, not the 2 minutes.
That was a 5-minute deck, but we made do, right?
You did great. Okay. Doesn't mean these guys are going to go easy on you, though. All right, who's first? Melissa, please.
So kids at this age are relatively uniform. They're going to fall, they're going to bump their head, they're going to do all the stuff that makes us nervous. But the child care centers are very different. There are those that are franchise-led, hipster, tech-savvy, and there are those that are onesies who are grandparents, parents of parents, who are really concerned about the kids and much more high touch. Talk about how do you sell to both of those markets, and what's the training like to get them up to speed so they can really experience these efficiencies?
Sure. So we build the platform so that we can deploy it, and there's this uniform standard. And there is some segmentation in the market, but standards are standards. So child safety standards are pretty much clean cut across the continuum. But we do assure that we built things into the platform, like the regulatory reporting, an accident report. It has to be done the same way in the state of New York, regardless of what type of center you're in. So we focus very hard on the engineering and standardizing of the reporting.
Next question.
Just to build on that, your book to run rate is long. You've made a lot of traction.
Sure.
And you have outstanding booked monthly recurring revenue, but it's almost 90 days to recognize that.
Right.
What's going on?
There's a couple of things there. So with a traditional single site center, our book to run rate is 2 weeks. With our franchise partners, we've had long tail migration plans. So we will take on that business, sign it, and it could be 6 months before we implement the first center, because it does take time.
That's not a 2 week. With all due respect, that's not a 2 week till you can recognize that revenue.
Correct. Yeah, we don't recognize that revenue once it's booked until we actually run the first billing cycle.
Yeah, it's a two-part question. So on that, how many customers are migrating from an existing platform to yours? What percent?
About 60%.
About 60%. Okay, so of that 60%, this is a pretty crowded space, right? You've got Easy Care, Pro Care, Sandbox, Hi Mama, a number of others.
Right.
I don't dispute that your product's better. And I remember sitting in meetings with Elon, and he'd talk about the most amazing customer experience that he called zero friction. And he would sit down and say, you know what, I can launch a satellite, it'll orbit the Earth and have zero friction on that. How are you going to get this onboarding experience, this book situation, from 2 weeks or longer down to literally less than a day? Because if you want to basically be a great company and deliver great returns for your investors, you're going to have to grow, and right now there's too much friction in this model.
So a couple of things. First of all, we're the first all-in-one platform. Those other platforms you mentioned, those are child care management systems. We're the first to bring in the parent engagement platform and the classroom automation platforms.
Yep.
So we reduce a lot of friction there and reducing the number of systems. It's a very big system. We want to get consumer, right? We want to look and feel like a consumer company that can take the customer journey down to 1 day. Less than 3 hours. That's all about building the product the right way. At the center of our implementation paradigm, the product has to be better. And as we hire engineers here in Buffalo and build that team and have a more sustainable onboarding product just within the product, that's the key. I agree with you. Getting our customer journey down to a single day or 3 hours is the goal, and we will get there.
And that's what I would coach you, right? So Salesforce, very complex product. They get their customers up and running in an afternoon. I've deployed Workday, very complex enterprise platform as well, right? To multi-national, tens of thousands of people. So that's your really key area. If you really want to really drive this business, you've got to focus on that problem.
Absolutely. And I think one thing Salesforce does is they leverage partners and they can monetize that. Another great thing they do that we're doing, they have a marketplace, a digital marketplace for other vendors so they can fill in the gaps. Same strategies.
Yeah, I just think you got to be as simple. It's really complex. What I see right now to go to a daycare center or a child care center and ask them to work with a piece of technology that's this complex. So I'm really, really concerned about that. And I think the other thing I'm concerned about. So what is the AI? You dropped the AI word. I don't see where A is.
Yeah.
So on the billing side, so AI is very important to us on the billing side. We run a concurrent billing cycle platform. So we automate not only the way that the cycles run with recurrent charges and the kind of the calendar of how they send out their invoices and bills. Also, we have different cycles. We can have centers set up payment methodologies that run every third Tuesday. So
to me, it's just technology. I don't think you need artificial intelligence to send out a bill. But okay. But my other question is, how? Are there big networks? I mean, how do you get this thing to scale quick?
Sure.
It seems like it's knocking on door by door.
No. There are a number of large delivery models. 50% of the business is involved in some sort of franchise delivery model. And we've already built the enterprise layer. Our enterprise layer is so unique. We've already gotten into 2 of the largest franchise players, and we will close about 15 more here in the next 6 months. We're already talking to all of them. The deals are starting to move. We're getting a lot of traction there. So those big delivery models represent a large portion of the business. And the independents, we've had this virality coefficient with the independents, and they come to us.
There's no issues here, so why do you need the money?
10 seconds or less.
Hey, any vertical SaaS company that says they don't need the money, they don't know how to scale.
We'll end there. Great job, guys.
Thanks, guys.